And now, if you would, please welcome Dr. Senda Ajroud-Driss, Director of the Lois Insolia ALS Clinic, to present the Harvey and Bonny Gaffen Advancement in ALS Award. I think you know Dr. Driss.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. The year is 1993. Whitney Houston's song, "I Will Always Love You," is the #1 hit. Jurassic Park was released and the X-Files started their television run. It is also the year ALS was changed forever. The gene SOD1 was discovered as the first gene to cause familial ALS. That same year, a very bright neurology resident in Boston, who almost became a nuclear engineer, was contemplating a physician-scientist career. She was not interested in traditional bench research, but more attracted to patient-oriented clinical research that was not really available at her institution at that time. But inspired by the new discovery and the potential for clinical application, she was convinced by her mentor to stay in Boston and to focus on clinical ALS research. However, she was frustrated by the lack of academic collaboration in clinical research, so she co-founded the Northeastern ALS Consortium, also known as NEALS. And what started as just 9 academic sites in the New England area expanded to over 150 sites all over North America, Europe, and the Middle East, all focused all devoted to performing collaborative academic-led clinical trial and research study in ALS. This organization, under Dr. Cudkowicz leadership, propelled the tremendous progress in ALS and contributed to a pipeline of new experimental treatment that needed to be tested quickly. Again, she rose to the challenge and launched the first platform trial in ALS. It is an innovative clinical trial design, simultaneously testing multiple therapies, cutting costs, and speeding up discovery of new ALS treatment while engaging the patient community. In the past 4 years, during a global pandemic, 5 treatments completed testing and 2 are on their way. Do we have ALS patient in the room? SOD1 patient, I meant, I'm sorry. The very first patient that Dr. Cudkowicz took care of was an ALS patient with familial ALS due to an SOD1 mutation. And fulfilling her promise to the family she took care of, she helped bring forward the first FDA-approved gene therapy for SOD1 ALS. Although this treatment is not for everyone, the implications are huge. For the first time, we have the proof that with the right target and the right tools, ALS is treatable. Now, even with all her great academic and scholarly work, what has always stood out to me is her mentorship. My first close interaction with Mertit, and let's face it, we all call her Mertit because her last name is as difficult to pronounce as mine. I first met her closely during a clinical trial methodology course over a decade ago. Mertit served as a course director, and during dinner, we were sitting next to each other and found ourselves genuinely chatting about the challenge of juggling life, motherhood, and a clinical research career in a difficult-to-treat disease like ALS. That conversation stayed with me and guided many of the choices and the decision I made many years later. This really served to illustrate her remarkable prowess as a mentor and educator, while she provided direct guidance to numerous clinical researchers over her career. Her distinctive form of subtle mentorship, observing from a distance, had paved the way for many of us, fostering opportunity that propelled both our career and ALS research forward. But beyond all these well-deserved accolades, she is truly dedicated to her patient. And to really show the impact that Mertit had made, I want to share some comment from the patients. Where is it? Every patient deserves a doctor like Dr. Cudkowicz. Oftentimes, ALS patients are sent home to make their final arrangement. They are left without hope. As her patient, I've never been given an expiration date. I have never had a question dismissed. And another patient says, she's incredibly compassionate and positive at a time that is unimaginably difficult. She is hopeful while being straightforward, and her most profound impact goes beyond words. It's about how she makes you feel. And finally, from a caregiver, we always hear that ALS is such a heterogeneous disease and how everyone experiences it so differently. But what we all share is hope. That hope emanates from Dr. Mertit Cudkowicz. She had remained constant in her commitment to innovate, to create, and to discover. She shares her enthusiasm and knowledge with all. She is part of what we all have in common, a North Star for all family impacted with ALS. At this time, there is not much for me to add. Ladies and gentlemen, I am proud to introduce Dr. Mertit Cudkowicz receiving the Harvey and Bonny Gaffen Advancement in ALS Award.
Thank you. Thank you, Senda. Oh my goodness. Thank you. Thank you. Oh my. Thank you so much. I'm not sure I could speak after that, Senda. That was beautiful. Thank you. And thank you for your friendship and your partnership. I'm really just so honored to be here and to share also the honor with Dr. Litsky and Steve McMichael and to receive this award. Senda, you said such wonderful things, but I have to say some things about you because your friendship and partnership are amazing. It's what keeps us in the field because we have our partnerships with our colleagues, with our patients, with the whole community. It's really a community that's committed to curing this illness, and it's what keeps us all there until we're going to find those cures. Chicago is so lucky to have Senda and the whole Northwest team and the Les Turner Foundation. It's really a role model. It's really a role model for the entire country and the world. This community, this ALS community, is really like no other, and I know that we're going to defeat this illness. I can't stand here from Boston without making one little comment. I know that there are some Boston-Chicago rivalries, maybe particularly in the mid-'80s in some sports like football, but there's no rivalry in the science. It's a community across the country, across the world that's working together. And in particular, our teams at MGH and Northwestern are working together on the science, on the clinical trials, on the mentorship, and we're always brainstorming about how we can go faster and better for our patients. So we begin our days thinking about care. How can we stop this illness? How can we repair it? How can we prevent it? And it's what we believe in and keeps us going every day. Senda mentioned the incredible discovery last year of a treatment that not only stops a genetic form of the illness, but where some people, about 40 to 50%, got better. That rejuvenated the field, because while we thought it was theoretically possible, we didn't really know that it's possible to repair ALS. And that just opened up a whole new area of science. And now we have to do it for every form of ALS. And that's what this community is going to do together. So our patients, as you know, are at the center of everything. Everything we do is with the voice and the image and the memories of the patients that we've cared for in the past and those we care for now. So I want to take a moment just to thank everybody living with ALS, or everybody touched with ALS, for what they've done for the community, for being part of research, whether it's giving blood or wearing digital apps or being part of trials or advocating. We can't do this without being a whole community working together, and that's what gives me hope and the willingness every day to fight until we cure ALS. Thank you.